more than $2,000 a month. It's essential for families and seniors who struggle to pay their bills and for whom housing is a big part of their budget. It's essential for hardworking young people who are told that if only they ate fewer avocado toasts, they could afford to become new homeowners. Well, when it takes a family in Toronto 311 months to save for a down payment, and a family in Vancouver 342 months, that price tag for a house is just too high. We can all agree that the status quo is not working. Si on veut rendre le logement plus abordable, il faut en bâtir plus et plus rapidement. C'est un défi complexe. Et les politiciens qui disent que la solution est simple sont irresponsables. This is not an issue one order of government can solve on its own. We need all three, municipal, provincial, and federal governments pulling together with the private and nonprofit sectors, using all the tools we have. Our government is here to help. We have a plan to double home building over the next decade for people at all income levels. And part of this plan is our $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund. Right now, in our biggest cities, in many neighborhoods, it's very hard to build new homes. And it's especially hard to build affordable housing. Whether it's exclusionary zoning, slow permitting processes, or underdeveloped land, the policies in place in many cities are just not producing the housing we need. That needs to change, and that's where the Housing Accelerator Fund comes in. Today, I want to share details of how this fund will help. The Housing Accelerator Fund will accelerate change and eliminate barriers to new housing supply. The federal government will directly fund municipalities that submit action plans for funding. The boldest plans, resulting in the most housing units, especially affordable units, will be rewarded. This fund will adapt to local housing needs. It'll be a flexible tool designed to help cities and communities unlock major new supplies of housing. For example, municipal action plans could include initiatives like updating permitting systems, tackling NIMBYism by introducing zoning reforms, or incentivizing transit-oriented development. We're funding these action plans to encourage municipalities to think bigger and bolder, to accelerate project approval timelines, to increase densification, to free up underused land, and to reduce construction costs. Put it simply, to build more faster. This is not a fund for luxury units or small changes already on the horizon. This is about transformational change. It's about addressing the housing challenges head-on. Le Fonds pour accélérer la construction de logements va permettre d'accélérer les changements et diminuer ce qui empêche d'augmenter l'offre de logements. Le gouvernement fédéral va verser des fonds directement aux municipalités qui vont soumettre un plan d'action pour obtenir du financement. Les plans les plus audacieux qui mènent à la création
the
du
boldest
plus grand
plans that
nombre de
lead
logements,
to the greatest number of housing units, especially affordable housing units, will receive funding. For example, action plans from municipalities could propose initiatives to modernize permitting systems, zoning reform, or to encourage development focused on public transit.
And community, no matter its size, is encouraged to apply, including Indigenous jurisdictions. Funding will be allocated based on the quality of municipal action plans. Just like with our bilateral deals on healthcare and childcare, our government will be focused on delivering results. Together, we will make a difference for Canadians. So today, my message to cities, towns, and Indigenous jurisdictions is this. We want to start receiving your action plans in June. So start working them as quickly as you can. Dig out those creative, bold ideas that's going to bring you to the next level on creating more housing quickly, whether it's zoning, whether it's densification, whether it's accelerating permitting or new systems to put in place. We need to keep building across this country. Aujourd'hui, mon message aux municipalités et aux territoires
Today, my message to municipalities in Indigenous territories is the following. We want to start receiving your action plans starting in June, so start getting them ready
With the
now.
Housing Accelerator Fund, our goal is to fast-track the creation of 100,000 new homes and units across Canada. It's part of our plan to double the construction of homes within the next decade, and the only way we can do this is working together. Addressing housing challenges is complex. No matter what Mr. Poilievre, the Conservative leader, is trying to sell you, there is no one simple solution. Picking fights and attacking mayors won't work. It's not a responsible solution. The federal government needs to work with mayors if we want to build more housing together, not against them, like Mr. Poilievre is suggesting. He has no responsible plan for the economy, and he certainly has no plan to invest in housing to make life more affordable for people. His only plan seems to be to make cuts to services and investments that will get housing built. That's not responsible leadership. What we need are responsible, multifaceted solutions. That's why our government has laid out a plan. First, to build more homes and increase supply with programs like the Housing Accelerator Fund. Second, to help people save for a down payment for their first home. And third, to fight speculation. Notre priorité, c'est de livrer les résultats.
Our priority is to deliver results. For example, such as the initiative to quickly create homes, we will be creating more than 14,500 affordable new units for vulnerable peoples across the country.
I'm here today at Grace Gardens in Guelph, which was funded by the Rapid Housing Initiative. This building used to be a motel, and it's now being converted into apartments for people who are experiencing homelessness. The 32 units should be completed in 2 months. So I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's been involved in this. Lloyd, who's always been there for the people of Guelph, fighting for them, standing up for progressive values in a way that's really made a huge difference. Mayor Cam Guthrie. Cam, your leadership, your commitment to housing, your commitment to building a stronger, more resilient community that has room for everyone to succeed, everyone to get what they need, has really been exceptional. It's been wonderful to watch everything that you've been doing here, and we're just so excited that we're going to be able to continue being here as an active partner in all the success you're building for people here in Guelph. I want to thank Minister Houssin, who's been on the forefront of fighting and building programs and solutions to make people able to access the homes that they need right across the country. I want to shout out the people at Stepping Stone who've been so instrumental in building the stronger communities and being there to support incredibly vulnerable people. I want to thank the construction workers here today as well. You guys are working hard to make sure that people get safe roofs over their heads to call home, and it's a huge part of building stronger communities and stronger economy that works for everyone. I really want to thank everyone involved in this important project, because every Canadian deserves a real and fair chance at success, and housing is at the heart of that promise. If we want our economy and our communities to thrive, cities should be able to attract and keep talent. Workers shouldn't have to commute long hours every day. Rent shouldn't eat up most of your paycheck. Vulnerable people shouldn't have to sleep in tents or in their cars. Making sure all Canadians have access to a safe and affordable place to call home will make everyone's lives better. Depuis 2015, on a fait beaucoup de progrès.
Since 2015, we've made a lot of progress. We helped to build, repair, and renovate housing units across the country. We've also invested in shelters and transition homes.
Progress over the past years, but we know there's a lot more to get done. We must continue to do this work together as partners to build a country and an economy that works for all Canadians.